Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Bensel, Executive Director of the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall, and I'm here today with a really wonderful guest, Michael Londra, and I'm so glad to have you here, Michael. How are you?
Mary, I'm so glad to be talking to you for two reasons. Number one, I'm stuck in the middle of the coldest state in the union in Iowa at the moment, and
In
I feel
Iowa.
like you're sending me your warmth. And secondly, I can see that gorgeous Performing Arts Center right behind you.
Yeah, we want
And
it to be full again, Michael.
it's a long, at least you're inside one. It's a long time since I've been inside one.
What are you doing in Iowa?
I know I get that question a lot. So I lead a pretty nomadic life between Ireland and the US. But I guess I spend about half the year in the US, uh, maybe less. But the past year, obviously, I wasn't going too many places. So my partner works for Iowa State, and our house is in Ames in Iowa, and I think I might, at this point, after a year here, pick up some sort of Iowan accent. One would
Well,
think,
you're not
right?
doing well. You still sound like you're from
in
Ireland.
in truth, my mother and father would kill me if I showed up in my hometown in Wexford with an American accent. My father would give me a thick ear.
Oh boy. Well, I should tell everyone the reason we're talking to Michael is we are doing a Zoom presentation with you on March the 2nd at 3 p.m. But I really would like to start presenting real shows again. You know, we've had a few, but only at 50% capacity and things like that. But I have heard your name for years and I've always wanted to meet you. So this is exciting. And I have been to Ireland twice, and I think it's my second favorite country, you know, after, I must admit, you know, that there is one more that really, you know, sort of warms my heart, you know, but Ireland is so close behind. You know, I love Italy. They're both I countries,
Ah,
you know,
yes.
but
Okay, I'll allow you to make us number two. Italy is a pretty cool country to come second to.
yeah, and Ireland, I will tell you my favorite place is the Dingle Harbor. I stayed there a couple of days and it was so quiet and beautiful. But you know, one of the first things I found when I went out into Ireland, into the countryside, all the sheep were marked with red and yellow. What is going on there?
Well, you have to know which sheep belong to which farmer. You have to understand. So in America, when you've got sheep, you've got, one farmer in the middle of the countryside with a vast expanse, thousands and thousands of acres in each direction. There are states in the US bigger than Ireland.
Yeah.
And our farmers are only small farmers, so they change from field to field. Also, how do you think the sheep know who they're related to?
It's really funny, but I love the Ring of Kerry and the Dingle Peninsula. And of course,
Oh, yeah.
then I also, you know, love Dublin and the pubs and lots of fun, but the Irish people are so warm and charming. So that leads us to talk about Ireland with Michael. Now, your show, I'm going to ask you the questions rather than read the
100%.
information, you know, so tell us about the performance. What can viewers expect? And what will be some of the songs they'll hear?
Well, this kind of came about because I've been making a TV show for PBS for the past year and a half or so. And it's a travel show. It's essentially, my friends lovingly call it Drunk Rick Steves, which has nothing to do with me. But it's a travel show with music. It's the only language I speak, really. And what we did was, when we went out into the country, we met all of the kind of the best known Irish artists that you lovely people in Sarasota know well, like Celtic Woman and Celtic Thunder, and dancers from Riverdance, and young artists that nobody has seen here. And we got them to host us in their part of Ireland. And we were gathering all this wealth of talent over the year. And I thought, well, let's bring it to the US outside of the TV show. And so we gathered everyone together at the National Opera House, which is where I'm from. I'm from a town called Wexford, which is, we like to think of ourselves as the Fort Lauderdale of Ireland. We're on the very southeast corner. And the National Opera House is there. And essentially, I gathered all of my friends, a lot of relatives into the National Opera House. And we had this celebration of musical culture. And we used I think maybe 10 minutes of it for the TV show itself. And we had all this great footage and we put it all together. I got some more people. I went out into the country and met a few other artists. We got them to guest on the show as well. And it's a lovely kind of, it's like Ed Sullivan without the dancing bears. It's a variety show. And,
oh, really?
I'm super proud of it because I love highlighting talent that isn't seen normally in the US. And there are, the best thing about Ireland is our celebration of the arts in real life. So everybody is involved in the arts somehow. And I got a lot of these people involved. And there's traditional music that you won't have heard before. And there's also the songs probably that I sing that, that people who will go to a Celtic Woman show will hear as well. So there's stuff that you'll recognize. And also there's a couple of songs from pop culture, American pop culture, from musicals that
really?
we gave just a little bit of what we do in Ireland with them,
A little twist.
I felt a little bit like a duck out of water singing them. But then when we sang them, we thought, we're going to put them in because people will recognize them, and it's who I am as well as a singer. I produce musicals as well, so we wanted to give everybody a lot of everything.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So will we see any of Ireland in this show?
Yeah. So I know you're going to get bored of me singing all night. You don't want me all night, Mary. So
come now.
Halfway through the night, we take you out into where I'm from. We're going to, for example, my county is Wexford, famous for the Kennedy family. And we go to their family homestead. I was very blessed a few years ago. The Irish government asked me and Judy Collins to sing in a celebration of what was called this JFK 50 celebrations. So I have a special connection to that family, and we talk about that, and you get a glimpse of what I sang for Caroline and the family in a celebration of their father.
We also had. Are they called Seligs? The parties you all have?
Céilís.
Céilí.
Okay, so we'll give you a quick lesson. Okay. So when you see C, people tend to, like the Boston Celtics, they got it wrong. There is no soft C in Ireland. The C is hard. So it's Boston Celtics, and Céilí is the word. Céilí is a party.
I've always wanted to go to one,
Oh, yeah. I've been to way too many Céilís in my life. Although, let's face it, Mary, what we give to go to one right now.
Oh, we really would. I tell you, because the Irish people are so lovely and nice. And, your country is almost, it is so prolific with talent. Why is that? Do you all grow up in school with?
Yeah, it's a little more than that. I mean, the arts are really celebrated in Ireland, not as a kind of, subject, but it's as a way of life. So the arts are alive and vibrant. So the arts are celebrated in pubs. The pub, the church, the theater is all one. It's all a celebration. And that's the reason why it's so alive and why our culture is so alive, is that the arts are very real. So kids grow up, whether they decide to or not, it's part of their lives. And you learn to sing or dance, or you learn about Irish history as part of your culture rather than your education.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, and I found when I went the first time I went to Ireland, my boyfriend was so tired that he went right to bed, And I thought, I'm going to the corner pub, you know, and I think the difference was I flew first class and he flew second.
That's the reason.
I saved up my miles, you know, and
I'm with you all the way, Mary.
so I, you know, immediately walking in, there's music. And then as we traveled around the country, we would stop in different pubs, and, you know, sometimes the music is totally different from one location to the other. But one thing was the same. Everybody seemed to be so happy. And unless you were singing, you know, some very sad song, which I think you Irish have a few of those, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for that. Is Irish people sing a lot of sad songs and a lot of love songs because we're not good at expressing ourselves. So here's another little thing that you learn. There's the verb to love doesn't exist in Ireland. It's a noun. The verb is gra. So you can't say I love you. That's that because, and I think that's very specifically designed. We would rather compare our love to something in nature than actually have to say the words.
Yeah. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I know I've been hearing that, you know, you are going to have some sort of meet and greet. What can people expect, and how do they do that with the Zoom?
You know, it's funny. What we tried to do, we did when we started this out. We started it out at Christmas, and it gradually grew to now we've 47 shows this spring. And when we started it, we found that people wanted to kind of connect with me. And so we set up these kind of Zoom parties where we'll take like 6 people. And really what it is essentially it's like this, Mary, is that people have 100 questions about Ireland, particularly because now I'm associated with a travel show.
What about the Irish whiskey? Do they get Irish whiskey? I mean, I feel like I need some right now.
It's Lent, Mary. It's Lent. There's no whiskey for me.
Okay.
I'm actually I'm off all candy and all booze until Easter.
I don't think I've ever heard an Irishman to say they were off all booze. I don't know.
Well, why do you think we put St. Patrick's Day in the middle of Lent? It's because we're able to take a breather for the day and then get back to abstinence.
Well, you see, I'm Episcopalian, so I don't know if I really.
You don't have to apply to any of those rules.
But I think that's great fun. And St. Paddy's Day is always, you know, we've had so many great shows over the years from the Irish. I mean, the Young Irelanders. We've done
the Young Irelanders. I know them very well. It's a small country. Actually, most of those musicians will be appearing on Ireland with Michael season 2.
Oh, really? That's great. They were so wonderful. We had one girl, it was her first time in the United States, and they parked their bus in our parking lot. And she woke up and she said to me, she goes, "Oh my God, I woke up and I thought I was seeing Cuba across the bay." And I said, "No, I'm afraid that's Longboat Key, but it's a little far from here."
You have to understand, Florida is very exotic to Irish people who see the sun like 5 times a year.
You know, I was lucky though. I had a lot of beautiful weather when I was in Ireland. Nice. And I'm going to say it wrong, but I had a very clear day for the Cliffs of Moher. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Moher, Cliffs of Moher.
And the Cliffs of Moher, and oh gosh, I just loved it. And but we've also had. I remember when Riverdance first came to this country, and I was in an agent's office, and they said there's some sort of Irish thing going on down at Radio City Music Hall. So we ran down, and all these people with the feet and the whole thing. And, you know, and since then, I also had with Spirit of the Dance, a friend of mine was the director of that. And so many of the, you know, Lords of the Dance.
Over the years, I was actually in that that Radio City show.
Were you really?
I was. That was how I got my green card. Is I came over with Riverdance, and we sold 6 weeks sold out in Radio City. That was.
I remember. It was like amazing.
That was my first professional date. Would you believe?
Oh my God!
What a way to start.
What a way to start. And, we hope to have River Dance back. I don't think it'll be next year. It might be the following year.
I
Things
hear you.
have been
Yeah.
very difficult, as you
I,
can imagine, with COVID.
yeah, I'm very involved in from your side as well. So I totally understand how it is to book acts, and trying to play catch up over the next 2 years is going to be a crazy time for us all.
So I just can't tell you, it brings, tears to my heart to hear your voice, just the Irish brogue. It's just fantastic. And I think your event was before a live audience. So
Oh
how did
yeah.
you do that? Was that before COVID or?
It was just it was honestly, this is amazing. It was just before COVID, and we had no idea. And in truth, when we filmed it because I was at home with my friends, and we knew we needed something for the TV show, just some clips.
Oh, okay, some clips.
And we just put everyone into the room, and it was a magical night. Aside from the fact that it was really emotional for me, because my parents hadn't seen me perform like that before. The last time was actually Radio City, but now I'm kind of doing my own shows and playing a lot of the theaters that Riverdance has played. So I wanted them to see what I do now. So it was lovely. It was a lovely night.
Now, did you sing with Riverdance or did you dance?
No, trust me. I was the lead singer of the Broadway show,
Okay.
which was different to what you saw. I did Radio City first, and then the Broadway show came out, and so I was like the storyteller in it. And I have notions of being a dancer, but that's about it.
Wow. Wow.
When I called my father to say I got a part in Riverdance in Radio City, he wanted to know, was there some kind of mistake?
Oh God. Great parents you have there.
Yeah, I know, they're great. They're fantastic, and they're safe and well at home, which is great. I've been worried about them. They get their vaccinations today, so it's an exciting day for me too.
I got mine, and I got both of mine, and
fantastic.
which is fantastic, and it only tells everyone how old I am. But I just can't wait for this to be over.
Who cares? It's great that you got it. Onwards.
We have Brian Regan coming on April 15th, but we're playing to 50%, and in Florida we're open, much more than across the United States. And hopefully, if everybody gets vaccinated, we will be able to open up more states, because it's pretty much.
I've got two 50% shows in the Lead Center up in Lincoln, in Nebraska.
Really? So they're open too. Oh,
and that's exciting. I agreed to do it because I get to see my band. I miss. It's been a year. Actually, the last time we were together was down in Aventura.
Okay, I know where that is. Well, is your band in the United States right now?
They are. Well, some of them. Some of them are in Ireland. My band are based on either coast, and then it depends on where we're touring, because a lot of times I'll tour Asia and Australia as well. So it depends on where we go.
I gotcha. Well, it's been so wonderful to talk to you. I know we are selling the stream at the Van Wezel website, but if people want to learn more about you, Michael, where should they go?
Sure. You can go to, the easiest to remember, I think, is irelandwithmichael.com or michaellondra.com. And you can find, or you can email me. I'm always delighted to answer any questions. Just go to the website, and I'm happy to answer anything about Ireland as well. And watch out on PBS to your local PBS station for Ireland with Michael. I think the first, I think you should see it like in early May.
And it's Ireland with Michael?
That's it.
Oh my God, I tell you, spending this time with you has brought back so many memories of Irish shows, but also of your gorgeous, gorgeous country and your warm, warm people. So Michael, I can't wait to have this, and I can't wait till we can bring you here to the theater and do the show live.
I would so love that. I just have heard so many great things about your gorgeous place, and I love Sarasota, so I'll have to get down there, if only to see the sun.
If only to see the sun. Well, today it's beautiful out, as it is most days. And
Wow.
every now and then we, a little rain is good, but
Yeah,
we
that's what
like the
keeps it.
sun.
Yeah.
Well, all my best to you, and
Thank you
I
so
can't wait
much.
to see your show. Bye now. And everyone, please sign up for Michael Londra's show. You will not be disappointed. Thank you again.
Thank you.